Good morning. My name is Jack Dearborn, and I'm the chairman of the Town of Weare CIP Capital Improvement Plan Committee. And let's see now. Tom?
Tom Flowers, Selectman.
Thank you.
Stu Richmond. Bruce Fillmore, Planning Board.
Thank you. Today we're going to do what we call our whiteboard exercise. And with that said, we need to do we have a quick list of them? I think we have for the you want to do the public works first, or police first, 3 cruisers request?
Right, I just was going in the order that it's on.
Okay, that's fine.
3 cruisers, I was just trying to find a number. What the total is for the first year, hold on. No, is that right? 57,786. That sound right to you guys?
I'm getting down to it.
I'm just looking at his PowerPoint presentation. It says total cost 2017, 2018, 2019. Another one that says 113, 184.
That was the original one.
Oh, okay. That's true. Did you hear that? Are we gonna buy or are we gonna lease? Because we've talked about that.
With a smaller number, I think you buy it, right?
Small number is.
The 57 is the lease. The 113, 184 is the first.
Just
No.
to really clarify that, I know that some people are confused when you say lease, that it's just a financing
Yeah.
Right.
arrangement. It isn't a lease, like you give it back. You own it at the end.
It's a municipal, it's considered a municipal lease.
113, 184 is to equip them as well.
Correct. That was,
The equipment and the
that was
lease.
ready to roll.
Yeah.
I cannot find one.
You want this guy? You want to borrow it?
That's the one for the police?
Yeah.
I got the backup, but I don't have the police. Correct. Yeah, the first year is,
I think it says it on 344. In the other paragraph.
trying to make sure we get the right number.
I'm glad I picked the hard one first.
Uh,
What are you thinking?
It would be
57, right?
57,786 for the first year.
Okay.
What was it?
57,786 for the first year. If you do it over a 3-year, and then for the 2 subsequent years, it'd be 27,699, because you purchased the equipment up front.
And the first year, right, the first year is the chattel stuff that goes into the, such as lights, any radios, any office, if you will, stuff for.
So that we agree that it's 57,786?
For year 1.
Yeah, one.
Year one.
That number's right here too, Jack.
I got that too. Yep. Thank you.
Store.
That's all with police because the locker room's out, right?
The locker rooms we've got out to get a quote, but that would be part of government building
Right.
maintenance, which we've gotta put together some other things probably going forward, so that's not gonna be separate.
And I think that was right at the threshold of the amount that
Right.
they'd asked, 15,000. Oh, the lease was 57,000.
Yep.
Okay?
And then, and in the subsequent years, it's down around 27, right?
See, Roberts, I can see on that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
9.2 times 3. 76.
Hi, Steve. Yep,
Okay. And that's
okay.
it?
All right, thanks for calling.
Is this the one you were looking for?
We already got it.
Naomi, how would we have to put that on the warrant?
Okay. All right, I'll, get that. He's not gonna make it, he'll catch up with you later.
Who's that?
Steve Roberts,
Okay.
sorry.
Would we have to put the total amount for the 3 years and show that broken down?
Mhm.
It's 113 then.
That's what I thought, that was, well, no, the total of the 3-year, if you're gonna go with the lease purchase, you have to do the gross amount.
Right, 113.
Raising the first year's payment of 57,786.
Okay. So that's it for the police, correct?
For,
This year.
yeah, for their request, yes.
Correct. Who do you want to do next?
Well, Parks and Rec, you and I had this conversation. She's trying to get a number, and I didn't get an email back from her as far as Chase Park. There's a gentleman that's came and looked at it and quoted, gave her a verbal, but she has nothing from him in writing and won't until Friday.
Yeah, but does that include all the engineering to support
Yes.
that?
Yes.
The whole thing, including the
It would be the
DES?
boat ramp and is she got an engineer to come out and look at it? So.
Okay.
But she won't have it for today is what I'm telling you, I was hoping she would. I just don't wanna see us just push her off, I mean,
Right.
you know, I guess the tennis courts, as we all agreed, the tennis courts, we have to look at a bigger picture as to the library expansion, if there is one. Is it feasible to move it when there's some more field being built? Something like that. And I think we also didn't truly iron out the whole Mildred Hall thing.
No, I don't know if we want to get into that this morning, but I had a long conversation with Betty Straw, who chairs that committee.
Right.
And there really is some confusion. The meeting that
Karen?
with Karen was actually in January. And there was no action taken at all because of the question of whether or not Parks and Rec as an entity could make a request. There was also a lot of discussion, Betty said, as far as whether that met the criteria of Mildred Hall's will. So there's a lot in that discussion that goes a little deeper than what we did.
Okay.
But Naomi, on the temporal aspects, we're gonna get this package done
Yeah,
next week
well,
on the
she's just
12th.
gonna give me a number, I mean, which would be on letterhead from an engineer.
Now, is this for just the boat ramp and
I think it's the
report?
boat ramp and the erosion.
I guess the boat ramp is kind of contained.
Mhm.
The erosion is, you know, you almost need to have a plan done for the erosion because it's affecting the whole landscape and
Pretty sure the erosion they're talking about is on the left as you go in, not on the main beach.
No, it's on the left in the trees, like
It's down where the
almost straight
lifeguard
ahead,
stand is, I
because
think.
it,
Right
Is
to
it on the
right of
roadside?
boat ramp.
No, it's by the boat ramp.
Huh?
It's right beside the boat ramp.
Yeah,
That's what you
so if you were to walk down the boat ramp, it's all down that
I'm getting it right.
water frontage.
Oh, okay.
how far does it wrap around?
Well,
Pretty sure she
all the
was
way to
talking
the swimming
I
area?
think, yeah, I think it does.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's
I
the
think it
problem,
goes
that's a
around
big
to the
issue.
swimming
Yeah,
Until it
Because
kind
the
of
lifeguard
flattens out.
stand is there.
Well, here's my problem. We're not scheduled to meet again.
No,
You
we're
and
not.
I gotta put the package together.
Right.
And the next day after we put the package together, the
You
thirteenth,
go on
I'm,
planning board.
Huh?
You go on planning board, and
Correct.
then Tuesday we want.
So-
finance. I mean, if you and I can decipher the number, is it something we wanna do? That's all I'm asking. We won't have a number today, because she doesn't have a number. But I'll have a number Friday.
would the board
You
feel
and I meet
comfortable that
Tuesday.
Naomi and I gather the information and put out an email to you folks to see if you guys are willing to accept it? I hate to call another meeting.
it's gotta go through two more steps anyways. I mean, planning board, although usually they just kind of pass it on, the work from this committee, but they do have the right to make changes. and
Yeah,
then
but
the
still,
selectmen
I
as
think
well.
our charter is kind of getting all the legwork done, making sure it's qualified as a CIP, and it's bound in terms of the cost. And, I mean, if you guys want to do that, I'd be happy to do it, Naomi. The question is,
We can circulate an email, I
you
think.
guys want to do that? I'm willing to be
Well,
flexible.
she's working on it already, may as well get the number from her and send it around.
Okay.
Yeah, the engineer's supposed to have the paper for Friday. She's gonna scan it.
You want to make that a motion?
I'll make that a motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Second? Stu?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, 400. Okay. Moving right along.
Fire department?
Fire department, there are two things. One is the breathing apparatus, and one is the AC power.
Can we go back to that just for a minute, just so we're on legal ground with the way we do the email thing? Just in the minutes of this meeting, maybe we could have an attachment, once that's done, explaining the email thing, because, I mean, with selectmen, we can't do any polling. We have to do it at the meeting, so it's in the minutes. So I just think if we could do like an addendum to the minutes that are posted, so that, you know, everything would be very, very
Okay.
clear. and,
Well, if we,
So attach the note to the, attach the, price.
Yeah, and that, because of the emergency situation, we had to do an email, poll
Sure.
to that.
That's for 5 minutes. She's taking it today.
okay, his breathing apparatus, option number 4 is $100,000, correct?
I believe it was.
Yes.
And that is to buy, I use the word refurbished. A consistent 26, meaning they're not all different versions, but have everyone the same configuration. A 26 breathing apparatus with an extra bottle for each, makes it 52 bottles, $100,000. All right, and the other one is for the AC, trying to find that, got too many pieces. You got it for AC?
The power to the,
Yeah, this is for the, we have 10 repeaters in town.
8 of them are.
3 are powered by AC, and 7 are solar battery powered. And the intent here is to simply run an AC line from public service and power the 7 so that we have uninterrupted power, either because of weather, snow covering or cloud covering the sun, and or overuse, like at night, which would drain the batteries. So that is $25,000. Okay. We're going for Director of Public Works next.
Before you move on, I had a quick question. We've got the fire chief is doing a better job than most of the other department heads in regards to keeping up with his future request. Is there any way we can do, or do we have it, I haven't seen it, a 5-year,
They go on a
Chart?
5-year.
We have not done it, it will get done to go to planning board,
okay,
Yeah.
because he's got a boat, he's got other things.
yeah, the car, the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It goes on, from last year's, it's like the second page or the
Okay,
third
okay.
page. We do a 6-year plan. Right there.
Yep, okay.
So they'll go on there, as well as the bridges and the culverts. Public Works, he wants a
Road reconstruction,
road reconstruction, and that's still at 480.
I've got a question. What are they doing with that, Zodiac?
That's in the future. He needs a
10-wheeler and
10-wheeler.
Oh, yeah.
You got the 10-wheeler for him?
Yeah, that was for 225.96.
What was it?
220.596.
And the backhoe.
That was 141.
141. And then we have the others going out in the future.
The bridges are out.
Right, we have the River Road Bridge in 2020, I think it is.
River Road, I have 2018.
2018,
Low Road, 2021. And
Right.
Francistown, 2022.
right. And we park them out in the future years.
Right.
And we're going to put the full value, even though we anticipate the state picking up 80%, we picking up 20%.
That's it in a nutshell, it's just.
Have we really had a discussion on those bridges as far as how we wanted to look to the future and whether we wanted to put some money into a special revenue fund? If so, then that would go on this list.
Right, we had a discussion, and I think the summary of the discussion is put 1/4 of the town share per year. So in 4 years, we would have,
The town share is about 300.
so if we were to park 75,000 out there for 4 years, our recommendation is to accumulate that 300,000 by year 4. And so we basically putting $75,000 a year into the capital reserve, new capital reserve for bridge replacement. Is that correct?
Right, we have an existing one for it.
Well, I thought we had the discussion that it wouldn't be
No,
correct.
right, I said we have an existing one that's followed through.
Right, we need to have one called replacement.
I would say yes.
Well, the money that was not improvement was used for replacing, right?
Well, it's a mechanics
Was it used
issue.
for Peasley, which was a replacement?
We didn't use that. That
Okay.
was done differently.
Okay.
Well,
There was a whole, we won't go there,
okay,
20 of
but the
them.
point is, I understood that the existing one couldn't be used for rebuilding, for putting a new bridge in. Okay?
I never went and asked
Okay.
the trustees, but
Okay, let's put it this way. Either we'll use the one that exists if it's appropriate, or if not, we will request to create a new one for new bridge construction.
you want to put on here?
Yeah, it's either gonna be in the old one or it'll be in a new one. And our objective is to, recommendation going forward is to put $75,000 per year for 4 years, accumulating a total of 300,000. Purpose of this is that we don't get the spike in the given year, and we don't know exactly what the given year is because
Depends on-
we have to get on the
I haven't
matching
got
fund
back to the
list,
state
right?
yet.
you have to get on the matching fund.
I haven't heard back from the state yet as to where she's put us in line. I just put new replacement, but we should really ask, because it's more for the new, even though River Road's a, call it a replacement. You know,
Oh, it is, for sure.
we already have a bridge.
Just to sort that out a little bit, are we looking to establish a special revenue fund or capital reserve fund
For what?
for this bridge replacement?
I'm thinking of the capital reserve.
For our share.
Capital reserve means that we wouldn't go back to the voters when it came time to do an individual bridge. The special revenue fund would have to go back and ask to remove the funds for a specific bridge on the year
But I
that
don't
it's done.
think from what we wanna do with it, that the definition would be a special revenue.
That's what I thought.
You wanna make it conditional?
Well, I just think that if you make it conditional, people are more comfortable voting for it, because they know that they are going to be the agents to spend, it's not gonna be the board of selectmen that's the agents to spend. When you're talking about, that amount of money, I mean, I think that, you could go either way, I'm just thinking of it as far as public, deal with it.
Well,
The other thing, it just, and I don't mean to hold it up yet, but, the pieces here, and the dates that we came up with, I thought that the Lull Road Bridge was like all set to go, if we could do something with it in 2017, even just the engineering. So, and that River Road fix that we're doing is good for at least 5 years. So, you know, we could start this fund with the 75, but then in the very first year, take out the Lull Road piece, get it done.
That'll fix that one. Right.
Yeah, 'cause that takes
See, the
6
problem is, if I've understood it correctly, and I may have dated information, the whole movement of taking the lull away and doing something different, there was a whole bunch of discussions with the state have to take place for moving that stuff around and getting it back on the list for the 80-20 split. And on top of that, it may not be in our hands because other towns not able to bring their funding forwards may fall in our lap. Am I correct? So, I don't think we have all the pieces defined, but I think the intent is that we know we're gonna have a Lull Road, we know we're gonna have Francistown Road, we're gonna have River Road. And we know that if we get the 80-20 split, the number is gonna be close to $300,000, thereabouts. So, I mean, we don't have to do this, but this is kind of smoothing out the impact, so.
and that's why I'm thinking the capital improvement as opposed to a special revenue fund may be a better way to go here, because the time schedule
Capital
is so,
reserve.
it's capital reserve, because the time schedule is so interdependent on what we can do with the state.
May not have the time to bring it to a March meeting.
Well,
Especially if we're gonna get another town's funding, because they couldn't,
let's try and do this. Is anybody opposed to the 75, irrespective of which way it goes?
no, we need to do it.
Okay, so could we leave the decision of that up to the selectmen of how they implement, whether it's a capital reserve or a special revenue?
Right, and I think I don't have the answer today, but as time goes on, I'm gonna get an answer from Nancy Mayville.
Sure.
The board will have a better idea.
Yeah, but I don't think we're gonna have it when we put the pitch together, but that may be available
Right.
at the
But I
meeting.
think either way, we still need $60,000 to do Lull Road.
Sure,
Right. So the 75 maybe used up the first year, as Bruce said, with,
correct.
as long as we're ready to, we could go now, as long as we started spending before June 30th, 17th.
And that wouldn't be hard, because all you gotta do is get your
If your
engineering.
engineering started. Right.
We're gonna make a recommendation here,
Sure.
that's all we're doing.
Right.
And if everybody wants a 1-year view, it'll be 60. If everybody wants the 4-year view, it's 75.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm comfortable going forwards with that thought, and if people along the way, we become more worldly in the options, we can make a better decision. But right now, I think it's responsible for us to consider the inevitability of the three bridges in the next 5 years, and we're just trying to consider ahead of time.
I think sometimes you get a more favorable if you consider it out versus
Right.
needing it this year, if you know
Yes,
you've got
yes.
something.
A little
Just
more
like in your own
planning
home,
as
you know,
opposed to
you're
a
gonna need your
knee-jerk
car in
reaction.
5 years, you don't just like wait till the fifth year to run out and have.
But certainly 60 of it's needed for next year before June 30th.
Could be.
Could be. And, I mean, I'm comfortable going with 75. The worst would happen is we might have 15,000 laying around for a year. And,
Well, yeah, what we would do is set up a fund, whether it's capital reserve or whatever.
okay,
Put $75 into that fund for bridge replacement, knowing that probably the first year's 60,000 of that's going right toward the Low Road Bridge. Again, those are details to work out.
It's not a question
Makes
of do we
sense.
need the money, it's just a matter of, we'd like to have it available when we get a hit on the River Road Bridge. Our share.
Then the second year would just be a straightforward asking 75,000 to go into the bridge replacement.
correct.
Mhm.
We're just discussing the mechanism. Doesn't change the event that we need to do the three bridges.
So that's it,
Are we done with all requests for this calendar year?
to my knowledge.
And the other thing to keep in mind is, I think the selectmen probably gonna be asking for money for the building maintenance fund.
Right, because Sean's got that project, we've got to do, we got to do the town hall, or gotta do something.
I know we didn't have that before us, but I know it's another, we probably gotta do another 75,000 for that or something.
There'd have to be something there. There's money in there, but we've got all of these projects
Right.
pending. Particularly town halls falling,
Basically,
literally falling.
the top's going now.
So I would just like to note that Public Works happens to have, I would call, 3 pedigrees of requests. Road reconstruction, which is really the summer work. The 10-wheeler and the backhoe is equipment oriented, for both summer and for winter. And the bridges tend to be a different thing where, and next year or the year after, the bridge is going to dwarf, or some year, all these things, because it's gonna be a $1.5 million, assuming that DES and EPA all declare that the current bridge abutments are not
Good, right.
adequate because of the changes since we built this, then the dream of having a reconstructed bridge on the site of $600,000 to $800,000 kind of
Goes
evaporates.
away.
And the logic is, Peasley Bridge a year ago was 1.25 million. And this bridge is certainly larger. And so we've notionally parked out the 2022,
Mhm.
whatever the year it is, 1.5 million dollars.
No, we 1.5 out to 2018.
2018, whatever the number is. So, we're just anticipating the need. Okay, at this point, I guess, I want to take it as a slate. I think we beat it to death on the individuals. Is this something you're willing to go and bring forward to this year as a committee?
Should we, near the road reconstruction, just like parentheses, what the tax amount would be? Because,
Well, you don't know because you don't know
Yeah,
how
we
much
have
the
an idea
matching.
what the tax amount is.
Do you have a good idea what the
Well, we know
matching
what we're
funds?
getting from the state.
well, it's approximately 275,000
Yeah.
Okay.
from the state.
Right.
So it's 100, so it's 200,
205.
there's a 5
I
on
was
the
waiting for you to do that.
205.
So what's the assessed value of what's the total value of the town? Used to be 817 million last year.
851 million.
154?
851 million is issues.
rate per thousand is, for every $1,000 is
Do the three things.
83 cents? 82 cents? Do I get the right number? I used to be able to do scientific notation in my head, but I lost it a
But
long
you've
time.
been retired for too long.
I've expired. So the tax impact, 205,000 will be raised by taxes is,
About 20. You can do them all if you want to know. Is that me doing that?
Yeah, as long as we understand that if we do that, it isn't all new taxation because we spent money last year.
Yeah, can I see that?
It's the
Jack?
difference in what we spent last
Yeah.
year. It's not all
Yeah.
increase.
So you have to go back to your base.
Yeah. He's looking away.
what's that?
Let me see your little thing.
Cruiser is about 7
Yeah.
cents.
What do you want to see, this?
This is approximate. We're way too early to even give you this number.
We usually do this and tack it on the end of the table, right?
We usually do.
Jack, I have a question. Before you said the town share for all three bridges is 300,000.
Sorry, what's that?
You said the town share for all three bridges was 300,000?
Just the River Road Bridge.
If you add all the three together,
Yeah.
I think 20% of that huge number is 300,000, if I get my memory correct. It's 75, 70,
That's if you do the River Road Bridge without the abutments, right?
Well, of everything else.
it's 1.5, 300, 300.
2.1.
210, you're right. So that'd be 420, right?
What happened to use one of the stupid things?
Okay, let's make sure. Did I just, yeah, I just did that for the River Road. So it goes from 300 to 420.
12 cents is better? Okay, so now we're under a buck.
We need to modify that 75. That was only for the River Road Bridge. So it's 105, correct?
What do you want me to do?
The 75 is 105. If you add the two low roads pieces in.
We can,
Use pencil.
do we
Good
want to,
save.
Unbelievable. Just back up over it all.
oh, 10? No, sorry. Never mind.
It's 3 cents. $1. $1 per thousand.
And what's the town's tax rate right now? Town
We
portion?
won't know that because of reevaluation.
Yeah, but it's not gonna move that much. I mean,
It might go down.
But is it $3
It
for the
ought to
whole
be that.
town? What's the entire town value right now? The tax, not the school, not the,
3,
what was it for last year?
hold on, I don't have that committed to memory.
It's on the wall.
I know it's on the wall, I gotta go look.
I thought it was around,
So then we have some money left in,
$3.50.
Yeah, flattened,
That's $3.50.
River Road flattened.
and this is the other question I want to ask, and I'm not sure we have an answer.
What?
What portion was the capital of last year's?
Oh, Jesus, I don't know. Probably $1. I don't know.
So I'm just trying to figure out if we really, one of the things we need to look at too is Beth did a nice job of putting together, looking back 5 years, looking forwards 5 years.
Did you guys get one of those?
Did you guys, I handed out this last time, didn't I?
yeah.
And it really shows that, this kind of gives you the appreciation of what the long-term and short-term debt, which is leases and bonding issues were, and where we are today. Because we did take on the ambulance and the town shed last year.
Okay.
Just for quick reference, if you wanna figure out the tax impact of something, you can just divide it by 8,500. And you'll get a pretty close idea of what it's gonna be.
And also, Jack, that $851 million that I used is the assessment this year. Typically, when the board decides the tax impact for the next year, we've been adding 0.5%. We haven't decided whether to do that, I'm giving you what I know.
Okay.
And again, it's not etched in stone, because it all changes
Sure.
when we set the tax rate, it just gives you an idea. It's an estimate.
I think this reeval is gonna help the tax rate this
Sure.
year
Sure.
quite a bit.
We were at 819
Oh, so you
million.
picked up
We
So
picked
I
up
picked
a
up
lot.
like 30
31
million.
5%,
We picked up $31 million this year,
4%.
so.
Plus the 8.5 million.
Right, so what do we wanna do with this, reserve that we're gonna be coming up with
No,
on a yearly?
not observe it, you're gonna raise it and appropriate at, for instance, the police cruisers. Or you would raise the entire,
Yeah, you'd have to add up all
Oh, for the
3
bridge,
years, and then you're gonna raise a total of, about your first year payment of approximately $57,786.
this is sort of the flinch factor. How
On
much
the,
does this add up to be?
on the forms, that is like a class 2 committed. Now, I know it means something different, but we could use that here when we look at carryovers, like additional payments for the grader. That money's already committed, so it should be added into this as far as capital improvement impact. That's referring to the sheet that you had.
No. Yeah, I
Think that's
understand that,
long-term
but
debt.
we could easily confuse everybody, including ourselves, if we tried mixing up all the committed stuff from previous years. And that's what this is attempting to do.
I think upon the debt there is, that'll go into those payments.
They become part of the default budget anyway.
What's that?
They said they become part of the default budget anyway.
Right, so we
Yeah.
voted to do, just like the
So
garage
we fix
payments
that.
in there. But it just gave us an idea of where we are debt-wise, as well as,
You think we're ready to take a vote? Or you still wanna talk about it? I mean,
Yeah.
this is where we were last year as far as where we itemized and then we converted into this package. Shows pretty pictures of what it is and the rationale in a table form. And hopefully it's consistent with last year is how we present it.
I still gotta go take pictures.
On the DPW, does Benji classify them the same? I got it here, if I just find my stuff. Are they both the same level of need? The
Yeah,
truck, the
He's got them
truck,
as
the truck
necessary.
and the backhoe.
He's got them as necessary. Both of them.
So what do you wanna do, Tom? You wanna do something or you just bring up a
I just,
point?
right, I just wanted to check that, see if he had them, if he needed one more than another in the first year. It also goes back to
Wow.
what Bruce was talking about, is the long range, because we didn't replace a truck last year. Do we need to replace one this year,
Well-
in order to keep up, so we don't have plow jumping?
Yeah, I got that, but what do you wanna do with that information? You wanna adjust the priority? I'm trying to figure out what you wanna do with it.
It was really just a question, Jack, whether or not that they were equal priority for Benji.
He's got them as equal priority,
Well-
but if you look on the second page of each one, he's got the dump truck has removes imminent threat to public health or safety where the backhoe doesn't.
Which one has he got as number one, which was number two?
He didn't, he's got the dump truck as number 2, backhoe as number 3.
Is that his priority, is that his,
That's his ranking.
oh, we got two numbers. We have one within the department as a priority and one with the categorization of urgent, committed, or necessary.
They're both necessaries.
Right.
And I think the backhoe is the lowest item on his
Right.
list.
If you look at last year, the way he did it is, new garage was urgent for life, for safety and health purposes. Road reconstruction was urgent for safety and health purposes. New wheel loader replacement was above the T3 truck, and they were both necessary. Well, I think in fairness to Benji, we ought to ask him to list and order the 10-wheeler or the backhoe. They're both necessary. We usually put in position on the paper which one is more.
He did that already.
Okay, so which one is the higher? Backhoe or the
The
truck?
10-wheeler.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the way we got it up there is correct. I'm ready. I mean, I was ready 15, 20 minutes ago. I mean,
What are we still sitting there for?
Pardon
What are we still sitting there for? Just teasing. It's still, like you said, it's still got a couple more hurdles in the selectmen.
Right.
You know, we,
And we're pretty much at the same bottom line as we,
well,
arrived
the
at last
dog
year.
one, keep in mind, does not have Park and Rec in it.
which is,
Just make yourself a note.
yeah, but that's gonna be the smallest thing on the list,
Right.
other than the AC power maybe.
I was saying, it may be about the AC power one.
Are we ready to vote, or you want to discuss this some more? Or you want to put the motion, then discuss it some more in the motion? I'm just trying to figure out, are we close? Why don't I ask for a motion?
I'll move that we
Thank you.
accept the plan as presented with the amendment that we know that Parks and Rec number will be inserted.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Stewie? Any discussion on the motion? Being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 400. Is it 4, yeah? Hey, we're done.
I think Parks
Do you
and
guys have
Rec,
any questions? You guys?
the Chase Park, the piece, I think it's important that we do something.
You got two things now.
Yeah, we gotta hear
Well, we're
that.
waiting on a price,
I think,
on letterhead from the
Wait, we got 3
engineer.
things going. Let's listen to this.
Yeah. All right, they're thinking the boat ramp's not gonna be small, that's all.
See, I don't know.
Yeah, I really.
I mean,
we'll have to
anytime you,
look at it.
anytime you
It
touch
could
the
be
water,
two
it's not
parts, too,
small.
And do 2 projects. You know, it could be done in 2 phases.
Yeah,
maybe.
just-
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Those are
good
those
point.
down.
I'm guessing if they have an engineer looking at it, they're not gonna come up with a price to do the work. They're gonna come up with a price to
Oh, to
Come up with a
engineer a project.
plan.
Okay.
Tom,
yeah,
you had something?
I just wanted to, we should see that something is continued there, so that, you know, there's a continuous upgrade, so it doesn't continue to deteriorate at Chase Park.
Oh.
You know, whether we do the erosion piece in 1 year and look at the boat ramp another, or vice versa, probably the first, to get rid of the erosion, but I would hate to see us stop and not do anything there, because it's gonna get worse, not better. And just become more expensive.
Yeah, and I think we've done a lot over there, and I think it's, I mean, Bruce helps with the well and the septic part. We're renovating the bathhouse now, which was last year's project.
The thing that
So I
bothers
think-
me, the Parks and Rec has the most variation in terms of what the price could be. Okay, all the rest of the stuff is pretty well nailed down, it's binary, you want a truck or not a truck, you know, backhoe,
Yeah,
not
I
a
know what you're
backhoe.
saying.
I mean, so, I mean, the other ones are pretty solid understandings. This one here is kind of like, you know, we don't know if it's a $25,000 or $2.5 million.
Right.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about that without some serious deliberation, so. If they came in with a point issue that you can solve with high certainty of the dollar value. Because the worst thing you want to do is ever say, yeah, go ahead, and you find out it's 10 times bigger.
Right.
And that's the part that bothers me about the Parks and Rec, but I'm willing to take a look at this, and if it looks like it's something that's bound and is priced accordingly, I don't have a problem with that, but I'm not sure, based on where we are now, that it's that way. And I guess we'll find out when we see it.
Yeah, and it may say 200,000, and I'm gonna take a real French
Right.
factor.
Stu, you had a question?
yeah, after you see this, then you can make a determination if we need an emergency meeting so we
Okay.
can beat it around.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm on the fast burn here, because the 12th, Naomi and I are sitting down and trying to put this package together. The
So
13th,
you may have to meet on the 12th before we sit down. If you're on the fast burn,
that's Wednesday, right?
the 12th?
Yeah. Well,
If need be, we could meet quickly in the morning.
here's the question. When do you think we're gonna see this proposal? If it's the morning of the 12th, we won't know enough to call a special meeting. If we
Well,
see it
she said
Friday,
she'd see it Friday.
this Friday,
Well, I won't see it Friday, because I won't be here.
We'll see it Monday,
see it
I'll
Monday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday,
Take
Tuesday.
Monday off.
Now we're up to Wednesday.
anytime before
Tuesday.
Wednesday.
I don't know.
Tuesday
We'll
before noon.
take a look, and if it doesn't look like it's boundable and rational, unless it's something a very finite piece out of the whole problem that can be addressed this year, I think we wait till next year. Because I just, the whole purpose of the CIP is to qualify it as if we understand what it is and can articulate it. And the costing is pretty tight as to what it's gonna cost and not have a lot of variation. Because you can't necessarily go back and ask
No,
for
and
the
it
other
may be
half.
something that they're not really.
Right.
Be way too much for them to think about too.
I just want everybody to know that I'm kind of skeptical of the ability of having this come through and glide right through. So, as long as people are comfortable with that,
We'll see what it is.
okay?
On the, get something else. On the bridge funds, you know, we've gone through the last couple of meetings talking about $75,000, no, reserve, yearly, you know.
105. It's
Well,
been
now
changed.
it is
Yeah.
105 because we weren't talking about that number, but now we are because we added the,
2 culverts.
Low Road and Francis Bridge in there. And there's, you know, money that goes with that, so 20%.
And that's
Those funds.
still, the other thing, that's still a floating target, because that would kind of assume abutments on River Road. If we don't need to touch the abutments, it could be back to 75.
Right,
This is estimated at the worst case.
Right.
yeah, we're trying to be prepared,
Yeah,
Right.
you know, for the end.
right.
I mean, part of the presentation will be, this is what we think we need in that bridge funds. And I'm gonna describe, best we understand by year. And that'll come out to be 105,000, 1/4 of the 420, which is 20% of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Great. And if we find along the way that the River Road Bridge, we can save those abutments, then we ask for less in subsequent years.
It's like God, it's out of our hands. If the DES and EPA God says you can do it, we're in great shape. If they say you can't do it, then it's almost twice the price. So we're anticipating twice the price based on what we heard. We don't know anymore, but. What do you think? We're done? I'm done.
Now we're done.
With that, we adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Thank you. Second?
It's 9:25.
Any discussion? Being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4-0-0.